Patty Christensen, hand CRPS lady. I know this glare is annoying, and these are supposed to be no glare glasses. I give up. And so I may pull them off once I have something written down over here. Anyway, I'm doing reviews on YouTube channels. I guess that's what they're called, not page channel. YouTube channels, those type of things for people with not just CRPS, but any kind of chronic inflammatory or chronic illness condition. We all kind of can cross over and check out each other's camp, if you will. But I was listening to, there's a doctor that I follow just generally, Robert Lufkin, and I'm pretty sure he's retired. I'm pretty sure he doesn't practice, but don't hold me to that. And usually I'm following him for things related to like blood sugar, but of course that also ties into the inflammation camp. Anyway, I saw one and he was interviewing Eric Gordon. I think it's a doctor, but I don't know. Dr. Eric Gordon, and they were doing a chit chat about cell danger response. You've heard me talk about in the past how, since I have this chronic condition, anything my body overreacts to. It's like I'm in permanent spaz mode, right? If I get a cold pre-CRPS, I'd be fine in 24 hours. Now it's 72 hours. It's a week. My body just overreacts to any perceived issue. Well, that's actually a thing. My doctor said, yeah, welcome to the life of CRPS. I didn't quite know what he meant because we didn't have enough time to go into it. We were dealing with other things, but that's what he said. Well, it's called cell danger response. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I'm listening to this while I'm driving to St. George. So anyway, but basically there's a part of the cell called the mitochondria, and I'm trying to remember what that is. It was like the energy part. Anyway, the mitochondria. And normally it's just cruising along. Well, you get a traumatic chronic illness to where the mitochondria is just like danger, and it doesn't turn off the danger. And so it's in this constant state of panic. Think of it like cellular PTSD. I mean, when I would talk to my doctor, I would say, look, this sickness isn't in my lungs. It's cellular. I can feel it in every single cell. Well, yeah, I can, because my mitochondria is whack. And so then the question is, okay, we know that. How do we fix that? And I listened to a few different things. One thing about me is I really avoid pharmaceuticals. Really, I try my best because that's just not kind of natural. You know, you don't walk around and there's a Xanax tree, right? Sometimes I think that'd be good. But anyway, there's no Xanax tree, right? And so that's something that's very, very low on my list. Even lower than that on my list are, what's the word for tripping? You know, the magic mushroom, the hallucinogens. No. I will not go there. I have a severe fear of going nuts. And so if I start seeing stuff that's not there, if I start tripping, I'll lose it. I'll just be forever in a loony bin. Not my idea of a good time. So there are some studies, if you like tripping, you know, some people love that feeling. There are some studies that say that actually helps kind of turn off this mitochondria. I'm just 110% not willing to go there. I'm not willing to ride the crazy train even for a second. But so I was kind of listening, and it was a short, it was like only 30 minutes, so they couldn't get into a lot of depth, which is a bummer. But, you know, he did talk about nutrition. He did talk about sleep. He did talk about exercise. He did talk about being outside. I'm doing all those as much as I can, hence why I'm down in St. George. He did mention like meditation-y, Tai Chi, relaxation-y kind of stuff. I don't officially do that. I think I get a lot of that on my long walks. I think I get a lot of that, but that may be something that I'm going to figure out how to add to my system so that like at night before bed, when you're just kind of a vegetable and you're watching a TikTok or you're playing a little fill up the bus game or whatever, that maybe I'll look into some kind of maybe a guided meditation-y thing just to feel like I'm solid in that area, because that is an area I feel weak in. Anyway, it's called cell danger response. I haven't done any more checking into this Dr. Eric Gordon to see if he's informational or if he's just trying to sell something. So I don't know. He could be a great guy. He could be a hawker. I just don't know. But what I do know is this cell danger response explains simply why people with chronic illnesses are constantly complaining that they feel bad, but on a cellular level, not in my hands. No, like everywhere. And doctors are typically very confused by that. But, tell them to look up cell danger response. My doctor gets it, best doctor ever, and look into that. And hopefully that helps people with CRPS or other chronic conditions to understand what's going on in the body, take away some of that, I don't know what's going on, fear response, and then work on, okay, how do we get that cell danger response to go away?